Live.
Are we live?
I think so.
Check. I don't know. I don't know if we are. I don't even know if this is working.
This is not our fault. Well, my webcam's not working now. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
This is a painful.
Why is mine not
painful
working?
experience.
This is fucking bullshit.
We've been doing this for how long?
This is okay. This is not our fault.
Well,
this one's not our fault
no.
because we tried 6 different tries on Restream and it just destroyed our computers.
Yeah, I don't even know if this. Like, I don't think this is working on Instagram either. Unfortunately. Interesting. Just it says we're live.
Oh no, we're definitely live. It's my webcam. I'm not there.
Oh, why you can't see yourself? Oh, what the hell?
My webcam won't connect.
Oh, you know why? Because you probably
Skype
had it
open
on.
I had
on
Skype open
Skype
first. Yeah, I have to close. I'm gonna hang up and join the call right away.
All right, this is painful.
All right, now it's just frozen. Those frozen fuckers there. Now let's open up the call. Nope, it doesn't like. Oh my god. Hey, you guys are champs. Stick with us. This is going to happen in about 3 seconds. I can feel it. Nope, maybe not.
Chris.
Where's Andrew when you need him?
Our tech guru, Andrew.
My webcam just doesn't work, I guess. And I could get it to work, but then I have to cancel the stream again, and I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
We're not going to do that.
Are these issues that will be mitigated by tomorrow?
I can't make any promises at this point.
Okay. All right.
Is Zell back now?
I'm back.
Yep.
My
webcam
my
don't
webcam
work?
just won't work again unless I close this. Unless I close OBS, and then I'll lose the stream.
Did you? It won't open OBS at all.
It won't open in OBS. No.
Oh my goodness! This is an absolute just crash and burn.
Wait, let me put myself in as a picture.
Amazing disaster.
Yeah,
Beautiful
Image.
disaster.
this is painful.
This is why we do the show. Moments like this
Yes, it's so fun.
keeps you humble.
That's stupid. Wonder why you can't see your webcam.
I'd have to close OBS and then reopen it, but it'll cancel the stream.
Oh,
It's okay.
I don't even know if you're watching on Instagram Live, can you hear us?
Oh, Zell's taking over. This is a picture of Zell.
I don't know.
That's me. There I am. Static picture.
Yeah, I don't know if they can hear us on the Instagram Live or not. Definitely can't see your picture, but someone will let us know eventually. Oh God. 7 tries. This is painful. All right. Are we live now?
We've been live this whole time, just fucking around.
Oh, really? All right.
They can hear us.
Welcome to Alien Theorists Theorizing. Power Hour.
No power hour.
Deflated.
Yeah.
Deflated power hour.
Yeah. Oh my God. That took half an hour to set it up.
Yeah, it's not our fault. It's Restream. It just wouldn't work. We tried both computers, and it's not our fault, and I'm going to stick to that. This picture thing is my fault. What are you doing over there? Killing ducks?
There's a little fly buzzing around here. It's driving me crazy. Oh.
Need one of those salt bug guns. Those salt shotguns.
Yeah, just blast my computer screen.
Yeah.
Nonstop. There's been one little fruit fly literally in my house all day, just flying around me, drive me crazy.
You can never get rid of fruit flies once they're in.
Hi, yeah, we're doing a little power hour tonight. Cosmic Channels is down for a little bit as we retool, revitalize, figure out what we're gonna do with it. So yeah, we thought we'd do a little AMA, a little power hour, and
we try to get Mr. Conspiracy, but in classic Mr. Conspiracy fashion.
Build last minute. That's it. That was his chair over there.
Would you spend 2 hours setting up the room too to get 2 mics going? And
yeah, I did. I cleaned out. I moved some stuff so we could both sit in here. I had it all set up, but whatever. It's all good. Man, tons of UFO stuff popping up on my Twitter feed all the time now. That's probably just the algorithm just feeding it to me, but tons of like people sending me stuff of like, oh, did you see this video? You see this? I love what's the one that we were just talking about, the breaking news one, the Calvin UFO photo? Mm-hmm. The big one is like someone sent us on Twitter, they're like, it's an award, like they had a competition for like what is it? And someone sent a picture of one of those like inflatable star things, perfectly sideways, angled perfectly, looks identical to it.
Yeah, I think
not saying that that's it, but they were just saying, can you recreate this photo with something? And someone did with that. It looked pretty spot on.
Because at first, didn't they say it was like a island in a lake or something?
Yeah, but then you're like, where's the lake? Like, we should be able to see that. Yeah, that's the one right there.
So you recreate it. They just put it on its side, take some pictures.
Yeah. Fucked with the exposure. That's pretty funny.
That's still, I'm sold on that picture. You can try and debunk any picture, but I'm sold on that one. That one's sweet.
Oh, I think I'm sold on that one. Oh,
get him?
Look at that.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah.
Murder.
He's gone. So it's driving me crazy. There's that, and then there's like, I mean, the other big news has been like that's been taken over my feed is like all the Donald Trump stuff with they're like he had classified documents mixed in with old nudie magazines.
Is that what the story was?
Well, just magazines. Just like he's just like it's just like you're moving out of your house and you throw on stuff in.
I didn't follow that story.
Honestly, I'm fatigued of it.
Okay.
Like I'm not interested until he finally comes out and admits that he's Robert. Is he JFK or RFK, Dan?
No, he's like JFK Junior.
Junior? Yeah. That's when I'll buy back into the
when he pulls off the mask and haha.
Yeah, it's been me all along. Until now.
That's a wild story. It's gonna be fun. I mean, it's always funny because it's like that because of just the way that well, most of like the government works and stuff like that. It's like stuff on the weekend is like you get all excited because they drop all the news on Friday, and then it's like the weekend. You're like, well, gotta wait till next week. It's like some fucking warped bullshit TV show. Except it's real life, and it's you know. I think one of the funniest things was did we say it? It was like there's no way it took like was it 6 guys to carry the casket of his recently departed ex-wife that he buried on his golf course.
The grave.
In the grave. Dig it up. Man. That's
just a little nuclear warhead in there.
Though the fact that he actually did it just to get a tax break is just
what was that?
That's very on brand.
That's not a good sound.
I'm just trying to get
trying
to get my camera.
What was that? I was like something fucky's going on. I was like, that's not a good sound we need to hear right now.
I got it. I got it. Fuckers.
I'll believe it when I see it. I don't see it on the stream yet.
I knew it. Just gotta do a little custom resolution.
Sean Mullet asked, do I have any more embarrassing stories? Yeah, but the embarrassing stories aren't fun to tell when he's not here. They're funner to tell him when he's here. Then he backs them up and tells them that they're true. He also asked, have you guys done a deep dive on the Kennedy? I know you did JFK, but I can't remember which one's the Kennedy. I thought JFK was the Kennedy.
They're all. I mean, RFK was assassinated as well. I mean, so it's JFK, RFK, technically JFK Jr. Unless you say it means the Kennedy is like the family.
Oh, no, I don't think we have. I've never even looked into like the other ones in a sense. You know what I mean? Like if there's anything... it's just I mean, if you do a deep dive, it's mostly like the story of old money, like
just the the privilege of wealth of old money. Super fun. You can see the way that some people used to live when like total impunity when you have so much money.
I'll take a little money.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, but it's not. But back then, it wasn't enough to have money. You had to have money and pedigree back then. Like, it's a little bit different.
Money and pedigree. How do I attain the pedigree? Gotta kill some people.
Lineage. No.
I wonder if I can.
You'd have to marry into a rich family.
You can't kill your way to the top.
No, you don't have pedigree. Like you have to be able to trace your lineage back.
To what?
Influential or royalty, or I guess like influential clan, something like that.
Let's try to start a new rumor. Like, I wonder if we could go on to like infiltrate some, Dan, now that you're a cybersecurity officer.
Sure.
If we could, cybercop, if we could infiltrate some of these, these real outliers and start convincing everyone that, forget RFK, forget JFK, Donald Trump's really Elvis. He's the king. Right? And that's what we want to do.
Rips off the mask. It's JFK Jr. Rips off another mask. Ha It's Elvis.
TCB. I'm here to TCB, baby.
TCB way older.
Yeah. Zell, tell us how life's going. Life keeps on keeping on.
I'm still alive. Other than that, keeps on.
Dude, someone asked, have we done any research on the TV show Stranger Things being based on a true story? Yeah, we've done that on a case file. We've done the Montauk Project.
Yeah, it's not necessarily based on a true story, but it's based on a true, I guess not a true story, but based on a story.
Might be true.
We did do the Montauk Project, yeah, which was the basis. All the stories that surround that, the numerous stories and accounts that surround the Montauk Project, that is what the Stranger Things is based on.
That and D&D.
Yes, that and Dungeons and Dragons. Heavily influenced by Dungeons and Dragons.
single-handedly brought back Dungeons and Dragons into the mainstream.
I no, it was Dungeons and Dragons.
I would like to
but
think we did that.
Yeah. Dungeons and Dragons was already coming back. And they jumped on the train.
They gave it an old springboard.
I mean, they definitely helped. I'm glad. Like I'm fine with
why
it.
not?
I think Critical Role was already kind of big already before Stranger Things, and they were kind of popularizing it. But then, and then that Community episode, which I think has been. I don't know if it's been. That show had a really funny not fucked up. It was funny. It was like you guys know Ken Jeong, right? Like the comedian.
Yeah, the doctor.
But
Dr.
yeah, and
Ken
then
Jeong.
yeah, and then he had that one. He had that drow joke, which was like a joke on blackface. Like, I think they removed that episode from streaming. Like, I don't know if they put it back. That's one of the best Community episodes of that whole series. Like, it's a really funny episode.
That was one of it was a show. Like, I like that show, but it was one of those shows where, I would get I'd watch it and I'd be like, oh, yeah, you know what, this is good show, and I just watch it in the background. Like I couldn't tell you. I've seen all the seasons, and I couldn't really tell you anything. Main characters' names, nothing. I don't know. It just is one of those ones. It was just on while I was doing work or something. I don't know. It was a perfect.
Great show. I think they said they have a movie on. They have a movie pitch ready. I think they're set on doing a movie, but I don't know if it'll happen.
I don't.
They really want. I guess. I mean, everybody's on board. I suppose it's just they need a producer.
Need some money.
And yes, we can see your comments. We are focusing questions from the YouTube chat because every single one of us can see the YouTube chat. Only I can see the Instagram live, so it's kind of hard if I miss it as it goes. As more comments come, then that's it. I don't scroll back. Too lazy. My finger really hurts.
You can see the newest 10. Who do we think built the pyramids? Aliens?
Egyptian people.
No.
Yeah, I think.
Way down.
Well, I think there was some outside influence or an ancient civilization that was more widespread than we know about.
I think so too. I don't think it's just a tomb. I think something that big had to have vast, because it's vast meaning for the culture. It had to do something rather just house one guy that they actually never found in there. And there's only one scribbled stone in some hidden chamber which said his name.
Mm-hmm.
That was what I always thought. Okay, well, he could have been robbed. Who knows when though? I guess it could have been robbed hundreds of years ago, 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago. Someone's
2,000 years ago.
I mean, when those pyramids were built, woolly mammoths were still around, technically.
Mammoths
or at
were
least
still
there was a
there,
small
4,000?
population in an island in the North Pacific.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
I thought there was way longer than 4,000 years ago, but maybe not.
At least that long. Yeah, I think it's really funny that one of the I forgot his name off the top of my head, but he's an American archaeologist and he's one of the foremost experts on the pyramids. And he went in there. He's been studying them since late 70s, mid 80s, can't remember. But he went in there with the express intention of proving that those pyramids were built by some hitherto undiscovered civilization. They'd been built by refugee Atlanteans, or they had been built by someone other than Egyptians. And then he said, on his own personal journey of going through this and the discoveries that they made of the large amounts of habitations, evidence of habitation around the pyramids, finding all these shops, kiln shops and places where people would live, houses, housing, all of these things. He's just it just built a more complete picture of these pyramids. They lend a lot more credence to the theory that they were built by paid workers. People come in, seasonal workers, they would come off off the seasonal farming season. Once they finished harvesting crops, they'd have nothing to do, but then they would all come over and get paid to work on the pyramids.
What that not make sense with what they think how fast it was built? It would have to be built all every day, all day, like 24-hour shifts. That's what they thought. So they built it over.
I'd have to see where that estimate's pulled from. I'd have to see where that one's pulled from. But I think I'm not sure what off the top of my head, I don't know what the timeline, like the official timeline is about, like how long it took to build them. I know they have some records of like where they got the stone and stuff like that, because there's definitely, they found those crazy, like those well preserved actual, like they were like receipts for stone for the pyramids, like going to a certain place, like coming from a certain quarry.
Home Depot
in there. Yeah. It was like a trove of documents that they found that were fortunately very well preserved. And then like they showed receipts for stone to be shipped there. And which is just crazy to me. It's like you think about these things that people like, especially now where we do like, transactions and stuff like that. It seems like a very modern thing, but it's like back then people were like writing out receipts. I mean, one of the earliest forms of writing that we have, like it's like Sanskrit from like Mesopotamia, and it's like a guy writing out like a receipt for like copper, and there's like a one piece of writing that they translated, and it's basically like a shitty review of this guy's, like he's like, I want my money back for this certain building material.
A 1-star, back in the day. Whimsical Banana asked on Instagram, I know you guys have opinions on Greer, but have you guys ever tried contact through meditations / astral projection? No, I've a couple people have like recommended that CE5. I just refuse to give Greer any kind of money. But they're like, yeah, it's, you kind of do it and you see weird things and it puts you in a place of mind. The people have also said like, you don't really need the app to do it. The app just kind of points out what to do the first time, but once you did it, you wouldn't really need it. But I'd be down, but we would definitely have to, I'd want to do it in a good setting, like head out in the woods, get a nice, open field, lots of sky, and try it there. That'd be a fun thing to do on a next pod trip for sure. What do you guys think? You guys ever tried that?
I'm not gonna lie. When I was on that camping or hiking trip just a couple weeks ago, we had the opportunity to see the night sky with no cloud from like a high altitude. So you could see the Milky Way, and you could like see like way more than you usually can.
Yeah.
And I put a good conscious thought up there. It's like, just give me a little blink. What's that noise?
What is that noise?
What is that? Now I heard it, but it sounds like it's coming from one of your things.
It sounds like it's not mine.
I just hear it happens every once in a while.
Yeah, it sounds like a maraca in the background or something.
Yeah, that's definitely not the sound that I heard when I was recording with Andrew. It's something else. It sounds like it's coming from. It sounds like it's coming from behind one of you.
Yeah. Anyway.
Weird.
Anyways, so I did put a good conscious thought out there just to see, like, just really concentrate.
What was a good conscious thought? I open all portals to the gateways of hell.
Not hell specifically. Just all conscious gateways. I'll bring in anything. I was willing to take anything. I did get some good shooting stars. I'll take those. But yeah, you need someone more experienced who's done it a lot and had success to like really. I can't see how just getting an app is going to make you be successful.
That's it would be a fun one. Sorry to interrupt you before, Dan, but I think everyone knows that you're going to say no.
I'll do it right now. You want me to do it right now? If I did it right now and I told you I contacted aliens, would you believe me?
Yeah,
because you're a stand-up guy and you would never lie to us.
You would never lie about that. But what I think is, I think it would be a fun one to do if we're going to do a camping trip one day or something. We talk to an expert beforehand who like guides us onto what we need to do when we get out there, and then we try it when we're out there. I think that'd be a fun.
I'm down to try.
Yeah.
Gotta join hands. You gotta chant. Dan's laughing. What are you laughing at, Dan?
It's funny to me. I'm sure that people believe this, but that was like I'm sure there's people who believe it, and maybe there is a way. But I'm like, how do you qualify as an expert in meditation? How exactly do you qualify? Is there a qualifying body? Is there a certificate or something?
Well, I'll say this though. I'll say this, Dan. Like, for instance, people say you can like disconnect, like when you're running and stuff, you go for a run, you can you can kind of turn off your brain while you're running, right? Like you can have like a body disconnect. But that doesn't come the first time you go running. That doesn't come the second time you go running. That's something that you kind of figure out how to tap into when you've been running for a while. Like I started to get that into like the later stages of the first running challenge. And, so it's something that you learn by trying and trying and trying. So it's people who, claim to be meditation experts. Maybe they're just the people that have tried it. And they're like, hey, listen, you're not going to feel these things. You're not going to get these benefits the first time, the second time. But as you kind of get into it, you're going to loosen muscles. But I say muscles, but loosen things, and you're going to kind of get more comfortable into it. And then you're going to see the benefits that people talk about from doing it. I also akin it to like if you've ever been on one of those like inverters where you hang from your feet. When you first get on those things, you're so stiff, you get nothing from them. You just sit there and you go like you're just hanging upside down. But then when you've done it a couple times, you actually kind of realize like how to like breathe through it, loosen up, and like actually like use it.
Yeah,
properly.
but I'm saying like, how is that? Is there a standardized approach to meditation techniques? No, I think because everybody has their own.
It's different.
Everybody is different. So how can you be an expert in meditation when you don't, especially meditation techniques that would be effective for me versus another person? Like they might be completely different.
Yeah, but I think I just quickly looked. There's a bunch of meditation teacher training to be a certified instructor.
But by who? That's what I'm saying. Is there a certified body? Is there like a, international organization of meditation?
You can give him $59.99 a month and he will teach you. Someone said that I look like the dad from Rick and Morty.
Jerry?
Jerry? I don't look like Jerry. I don't look like Jerry. Yeah, I don't look nearly good enough to be Earth's greatest scientist.
I just kept Googling things. Oh no, is it? I kept saying, what did he say? That's a different joke.
Pluto is a planet.
I just kept saying it.
Yeah, Whimsical Banana says there's a basic. There's a basic method. It's not hard to train. But I think we would have to practice. If we're going to go do it like properly out in the woods and try to get something, I think I wouldn't want it to be my first go at it.
Like I would think there's a basic technique. People have been doing it for thousands of years, but I'm like, why? How would I be like, okay, how do I ascertain that you are a expert in things? And how do I know that I'm at the same place in the same receptive state that it would be most conducive to receiving signals from above or interdimensional?
Hey, they know. They know. They know when you really want it, Dan. I feel like it wouldn't take me too long to get in the zone, though, to do that.
I'm a person who's very good at like just following instructions. So if you just tell me how to do it, I'll do it.
So I'm sure there's people who are experts in meditation who could talk to you for 5 minutes, get a sense of who you are, and like make a personalized plan.
How do you determine that they're an expert? That's what I'm saying.
Well, if someone puts in 10,000 hours into meditation, which is widely accepted as the 10,000 hour rule as becoming a professional.
But how do you know like if you're a person playing a guitar, you could put 10,000 hours in playing guitar and still have bad habits because if you started out with bad habits.
Well, yeah, sure. Any trade, you could say that about any trade.
Right. So that's what I'm saying about meditation. So what if that person already had bad habits? What if they're not doing it right?
So you could say it's saying about, okay, well, how do I know you're a good scientist? You got the degree. How do I know you're a good scientist?
Well, we'll have
because
to
there are
reviews,
bodies that do that.
obviously.
That's what peer review is for.
We're gonna have to check the Yelp reviews, obviously.
That's what the peer review process is. That's what I'm saying is like, is there an organizational body that like standardizes meditation approaches? And there is like somebody who says like, there's a board or something. There's a test that you take. Then you're like, yes, this person is very good at doing meditation.
Dan, obviously we don't know because you asked us like 4 times. So maybe you find out and then get back to us.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Dan,
people are asking
in your quest for eternal knowledge,
yeah,
I think you should, after you finish becoming a computer cop, you should become a meditation expert.
Well, I probably could.
Yeah, that's your next one. Your next feat.
I mean, you could become somebody who's very adept at helping people visualize what they think meditation is supposed to be. And I would think that would not be too difficult for somebody who is of.
Someone said, Whimsical Banana asks, why do you need an expert? Once you've learned how to move your own energy, all it takes is a little bit of practice to reach the cosmos. Dan needs a manual.
He
You've
needs a
listened
manual.
to this at all,
He
this
needs-
podcast at all? I think you understand that Dan needs a manual written out, peer reviewed, stamped by
Well, that's what I'm saying.
a college.
I could. How do I?
It
prove
has to
that
have
I
an
can
online
I can reach out
course.
to the cosmos.
right
right
You
now.
know, there's
I'm
got to
doing
be
all
a
the
100-hour audio tape. You know, someone has to have a certificate on their wall.
That the very minimum. That's what they need.
I would just like to see that. I'd just be like, that'd be nice. I mean, I could become an expert in meditation if that's all it takes to reach out to the cosmos. I can do that already.
Hey, listen, we call chiropractors doctors, so anything's possible.
And they paralyze people on a regular basis.
Yeah, it's a pseudoscience.
Though I have been
Yeah,
to one,
it
and
blows
it
me
does feel
away,
nice.
man. It blows me away that people still go to the chiropractor.
I used to go to the chiropractor until I found out that the singer of my band, Cass, his mom went blind from a chiropractor.
Ugh. Yeah, I would think it's like, I
Cracked
don't
her
want
neck.
anybody messing with my spine.
Cracked her neck. Her left eye went out.
Boom.
Never came
Yeah.
back. Just boom.
That's
one
so scary.
one
man.
crack, eye went out. And now you can walk up right beside her on the left side and she can't see. It's kind of a funny joke.
It's so weird. Just a nerve pinched, gone.
Yep.
Eyesight.
No, not pinched, severed. Like,
Dude, that would be a fun one because I've watched a couple like brief YouTube documentaries on like the practice of like chiropractic. Chiropractic, is that what they
Chiropractics.
chiropractics?
Yeah.
And it's like it's a little shady. It's got a bit of a shady start. Someone at Lizard Caveman said, "How do you calibrate meditation?"
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it makes good sense.
That guy knows the show.
Yeah.
That guy
He's been
Because
here a
I'm
while.
Gotta
pretty
be able to
sure I could
calibrate
do
it.
it. Like, I'm pretty sure I could do it. I'm pretty like
Yeah.
like it's not. I know I'm versed in breathing and visualization techniques. Like, it wouldn't be that too difficult to get into the state of
Uncle
what I
Uncle
would
Slam says
Yeah,
Dan
here it
apparently
is.
hasn't heard of the Journal of the American Meditation Association.
There you go, Dan.
Well, I'll look them up right now. I'll look it up right
Yeah,
now.
I don't know if that's real.
I
or
don't know
not,
if it's
but
real either.
pretty funny.
I hope it's not. That'd be even funnier.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is one. There's always journal.
Yeah,
of
chiropractors,
meditation research.
not real doctors. Sorry if you're a chiropractor. For our chiropractic friends out there, not real doctors.
I mean, doesn't seem like they have anything here. Doesn't seem there's an academic journal for it.
Dan's already looking it up.
you
There's a
I
very
said I was gonna
interesting-
look it up.
should start it, Dan. You should write it. I think there's a big money market in there.
Yeah, but then there's
You could start the journal for American Meditation Association. That could be you. That could be your claim to fame.
of the majority of videos that I've seen, meditation is just mainly it's visualization techniques and just self-centering. It's not rocket appliances.
Yeah, I'm sure though. I think Dan makes it seem maybe a little easier than it is to be probably a dedicated
too.
meditation expert.
I'm sorry if it comes easy to me and it's difficult for you guys. That's all I'm saying.
Dan, when the last time you
Yeah.
meditated?
Dan, you kept the light on in the sensory deprivation chamber.
Oh
Okay?
my God. He's
you're
scared.
gonna-
Because
Yeah.
I didn't need darkness in order to center myself.
you-
Like I don't.
But
need
then
that.
you didn't feel you didn't get the properties.
But
of
how
the
do you know
being
that that's
deprived
how do you
of
know
your
that's what it
senses?
is?
That's what it is. Sensory deprivation.
That's what it is.
You turn off
But
the
I don't
senses.
need- but I don't
to
need
lose
that.
your senses.
But how
And
do
you're like-
how do
But then
how
you
are
just
you going to
floated.
tell
You
me-
just floated in a salty
How are
pool.
you going
Dan.
to tell me? Are you an expert in meditation now? I don't see your certificate on the wall.
Huh? It's right. It's right underneath my Fifth Element poster where it should be.
There it is.
Okay, wait, no,
Maybe I don't need those things.
let's move on. I've had enough. of
What if people are
meditation.
just selling that to you? What if that's just something they sell this on
Dan's a
how much was
meditation
an egg per
expert.
hour?
Dan's a meditation expert. We've just found this out. He's better than all of us. Let's just move on. And
Zell's, you don't have to be jealous, Zell. It's okay.
yeah,
I can teach you. I'll teach you next time we're out. I'll teach you. Don't
I
worry.
can't wait.
I look forward to your peer-reviewed journal.
Yeah, for all those thousands of hours of meditations Dan's done between reading books and gaming and podcasting.
Yep.
The other thing, I watched because we're recording Skull and Bones tomorrow, I was trying to like get into all, because it's like I watched one video where it was like Skull and Bones is like a secret society in Yale. It's like Yale is known for hundreds of secret societies, and I was like,
Yeah.
they're doing a piss poor job.
They're all out there.
It's kind of interesting. Like the one thing is, I mean, we're gonna get into it more in the case file, but where they're like one of the things is like you like join the club, you don't tell the secrets, and like you're financially set. I was like thinking in my head, I'm like, you think they got like one dud who's just such a suck on the rest of the guys? They're like, God damn it, man, we really shouldn't have promised everyone like financial stability for their entire lives because we got this fucking idiot over here just mooching.
There's always a couple, coattail draggers.
I mean, if you're going to Yale, chances are
You're doing all right.
You're doing all right.
Chances are your family's doing all right.
You got pedigree,
Families,
especially back then.
As long as your parents paid enough for you to fake the test. What were they doing? Is that what parents were doing?
probably.
All those rich parents?
That's right. Yeah, they're paying test takers. Yeah. Lori Laughlin. Uh-huh.
That's right.
I think she got her sentence.
She got
commuted.
convicted. I'm pretty sure.
She did get convicted, but I think she got her sentence commuted or something. She only had to serve like 3 months or something.
It's funny. Bill Burr did a funny stand-up set on that. He's like, but then the kids still got in and did fine. Like, did fine at the school. Like, didn't need tests. It was fine.
They got in on false credentials, but still did all right. They're okay.
Did fine. Yeah, no issues. I don't think we done a case file on Scientology. I don't think we have. Maybe.
Oh, we'll
I know we've
definitely
talked
get
about it.
Got murdered, man.
I know we've talked about it before. I've been to a Scientology.
Yeah, I
center
was
before.
gonna
filled
say,
out their
didn't you get
questionnaires.
your
By Thetan levels?
the Thetan levels, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very weird. I mean, that's years ago now, but
Didn't we walk
was
past
strange.
it or something? We drove past like the Church of Scientology when we were in LA. I remember seeing
yeah, I
it.
think so.
I think we
yeah,
did,
I've been
actually.
like, but I did the test, the Thetan levels and stuff, and I was like, I think the person, because I was so bored, like the test was so long, I was like, holy fuck! I was like,
trying
this
to
is
grind
crazy.
you down.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I imagine they're watching you from a back room or something, and like I was just like, see, just like whatever, wasn't even paying attention, and then like Trevor, who I was with, was actually like going through, and they were giving him like really talking to him about how this could benefit him, and they were just like, they didn't even talk to me after, like they just knew. They're like, this guy is not
This guy's
interested.
not.
But neither
not
was Trevor
good
really.
material.
He just filled out the thing because he was like, oh, I felt bad. They gave me this test. I had to fill it all out.
Forms.
Dude, there was like they had like a record and you're sitting in there and it was just like whatever elevator music, and then the elevator music would like be like ah! Ah! And like I would look up, like look over at Trevor, we'd both be like, that was weird.
Then you look over to
Sit
Corey.
for that. Yeah. Look over and like, yeah.
Scientology is weird, and it's like, I mean, I don't know what it is. People believe a lot of crazy things, and not crazy, I suppose different. And then I don't know, it's like you could watch a South Park episode and all of that stuff's true, like most of what they teach, their teachings, like that's what they believe in. Dianetics, son. Or what was it? What was that? Battlefield Earth. It's a documentary.
Yeah, that's what they believe.
Yeah, watch that. Fucking Forrest Whitaker, John Travolta.
I've actually never seen it.
I
heard it was
have
bad.
watched a good chunk of it. It's a really long movie too. Like, I've watched a good chunk of it, and it is like, it's interesting. John Travolta goes hard in that movie, though.
Goes hard.
I mean, no, he went hard in that movie. He was all in. Like he was having a good time on set. I don't know about anybody else.
Well, this guy Gilbert just messaged us. He said, I love your shows in Power Hours, following from La Paz, Bolivia.
La Paz.
Bolivia.
La Paz, and he lives near Pumapunku
Oh, dope.
Okay.
and Lake Titicaca, our favorite lake on this show.
Our two favorite places. Our two favorite places with the best names for us to say on the show.
I just think it's one of those things with Scientology. People asking like, well, how did they get these celebrities? And it's like, well, you have to pay. Like you pay your way basically, right? And it's like you get into a certain level, and then it's like, it's much like any other cult. You have influence, you have power, you have people in high positions that can help you. And when they've given you all this stuff, you don't want to just be like, ugh.
There was a couple of really good articles about the Church of Scientology and like their dealings in Florida. Like I think it's the Miami Herald, local paper down there, ran like a really good couple at like their property dealings, like a bunch of like shady shit they did down there. They ran a couple articles that were pretty fun.
What was that King of Queens, Leah? Is it Leah? She had a whole like A&E show exposing Scientology. It was pretty fascinating. She just talked to like former peoples of the church, and like her experience of being like threatened and shit. So funny. That's how you know they're a real church, just like any others. As soon as they start getting violent and threatening people, then you're like, they made it.
There was something about when they're opening up a new facility in Florida, and there's a big thing about them like driving down the property values and like driving people out, like all the kind of stuff that they did to get people to move so they could open up buy up the property in order to it's fascinating.
Just like McDonald's.
It's more, but I don't know, some of that stuff speaks to me to the idea that we shouldn't let religious organizations be tax free. Later, they should be taxed.
No, I want to keep it the same. So when we start our religion, we can benefit the same.
All right. Yes. Church of ATT coming soon.
Yeah. Church of Theorite.
Hey, if Scientology can start in the 1950s and get so big in a short amount of time, I think we could pull one off.
Yeah. What do you think we've been working on when we keep telling you all the theory of everything? Right. That's our religion.
You got to join and subscribe to get the theory of everything.
Yeah.
Every month you get a little piece of the theory of everything until it lasts 80 years. You got to commit for 80 years.
Braden will put you in a sensory deprivation tank that he has out in his backyard, and it's just this pool, and he puts a tarp over it.
Yeah, there's a nightlight. There's a nightlight in there for Dan, in case you don't want all your senses deprived. It's fine. It's like the light. What? Crazy thing is, people will be more likely to let in Scientology than something useful like income housing.
What's that mean?
You mean low income? You mean low income housing? It means low income.
Well, I think the Church of Scientology has probably
they've got
ton
money.
Of money. Yeah, a ton of money.
They've got money.
I was like, low income housing is usually a burden. And I use the term burden not in a negative sense, but it's a burden on the system where it's like the government's paying for that. People cities are paying for that.
Certain people don't make money off of it.
Yeah.
Profitable.
Yeah.
Even though in the long run it would probably benefit the certain areas, like like pulling people out of poverty, and in the long run it would probably be more beneficial to society, but it doesn't make you enough money in your lifetime. So some people.
Sorry, I don't know how to spoke England. So I'm guessing English is not his first language.
That's cool. It's pretty good.
we got your gist. Zell, I was interested. Is your mom been given any new conspiracy updates?
No, she's pretty much been stuck on the same level for a while now.
At least she hasn't gone
good or bad.
She hasn't. She hasn't like come back down at all.
No.
But
same level.
I don't know. I don't know if they ever come back. Some do.
She's stuck on the same, just like mid-pandemic level. The ivermectin, the Great Reset.
Yeah.
All the stuff.
The shot makes people sterile. I love how that one shifted as soon as babies started happening after. They're like, oh, yeah, well, your kids are sterile.
She has told me that.
Wow, what a quick.
She has told me that the jab will kill you, but she couldn't tell me how long. So
we all die.
We're all dead.
It's gonna kill you in 70 years.
I mean, yeah, that's those memories. I've just kind of blurred those couple years out.
Probably good.
Just got rid of
Probably
them.
not the
Just
best.
deleted them.
That's your brain like protecting you.
There was a great clip of our like the Freedom Convoy like in I don't know if it's Ottawa or Toronto, the honkening, and like they had taken residence up in like some church in Ontario, Toronto, I can't remember, and they're being evicted because they haven't paid rent, even though they've claimed that they've raised all like millions and millions of dollars. They're getting evicted, and
who's handling their money now? Didn't the lady who was running it get, or was it just like her? Didn't she get caught embezzling, or she got put in jail?
There's a lot of ins and outs. I don't follow it all.
I don't follow.
It's too sad and depressing. But it was great because they were like news reporters and stuff were trying to film about the story about like they're getting evicted from this church, and some of the members were out like patrolling the front of the church with water guns, like as if they were security.
Super soaker?
How did you know they were water guns?
Because
I'm saying were they like little like neon yellow?
No, they were like they were big ones, like
super
big
soakers.
Yeah, big super soakers.
100.
And they were like squirting
double
reporters.
tank or single tank.
Single tank. But it was pretty funny. They were like patrolling. They're like, step back. Get back. I was watching. I was like, oh my god. I was like, this was embarrassing for everyone involved. But, I don't know. Like, I kind of miss. I miss. There's portions of the pandemic that I miss, and it's like just. If I don't know if you guys have been out anywhere, like some of the places now that tourists are back and like people are out and about, it's just like I'm like, man, there's just too many people. There's too many people. I was like, I kind of miss going places and no one anywhere. That was nice.
You gotta move to an even smaller city now. You're gonna end up a fucking hermit on the mountain.
In the woods, yeah.
There's just too many people out there, I can't handle those fucking people anymore.
No, so Captain specifically asked if those soldiers are an offshoot of the new Queen of Canada. No, they are not.
That's right. Isn't she
a different thing?
The Queen of Canada.
No, that's not different groups. Different groups.
Oh, they're different groups?
Different groups are crazy. Yeah.
Okay.
The Queen of Canada had her Royal Guard or whatever roll up to like the OPP.
Yeah, that's right.
And they were trying to arrest the police.
Yeah.
And they got fucked up.
You're under citizen's arrest. They're like, no, we're not.
Yeah, no. Like, what are you doing? As soon as they put hands on one of the cops, all arrested.
Gonna have a bad time.
Yeah.
The cop's waiting for you. He's waiting for you to put your hands on.
Yeah, I don't know what goes through people's heads when they're just gonna be like, what's your thought process on that big guy? Like where do you think this is gonna end up?
Oh, dude, a lot of that stuff's like the sovereign citizen people and stuff. Like I think because here we call it freedom of the land.
Mm-hmm.
But like I know in the States, a more popular terms like the sovereign system, where you can opt out of your government and your name's just a corporation, and you don't have to. And there's all these weird ins and out treaties. I will say this: I have not met one person that spouts that nonsense that's been like, "I won. Everything I said is true, and there was no repercussions for me." It's not a thing. If you drive around with a piece of paper license plate, guess what? You get pulled over. Your car gets impounded.
I remember there are some areas in I think it's New Hampshire that are very, very very set on that, like the sovereign nation, the idea that federal government has no power, the state government has no power. I'm just a citizen and I do what I want. And there's a book. I think there's a book called like the Freedom Town Project or something like that, and it's basically tells the story of an entire like town that basically went full on into that idea. So like they dissolved the town council, all of the city services, all of that stuff, all of that was gone. So what you ended up having though is like within 2 months, like there's nobody to pick, there's no services, right? So that includes like, nobody's maintaining like water, nobody's maintaining electricity, everybody's got generators and stuff. And then like there's also, you think about it, there's no trash pickup. So all the people have their yards not pick out trash. You live in fucking New Hampshire, bears showed up at the town and people were like getting like regularly attacked by bears.
Why don't you just burn your trash?
You can't not enough. Like this is like people would just like, because you can't tell the person next to you to burn the trash, so you can't tell the whole town to burn trash because nobody's telling anybody to do it. Yeah, you do whatever you want. So why burn it if it's like too much
There's
trouble?
no rules.
So you
Yeah.
don't,
Yeah.
so
So
you don't
people
get
are just leaving their trash out,
well, there's,
and
so
then
you
it
don't
would
get
just
eaten
be
by
like,
bears. That's why you burn it.
and that's why you get the bears. And then the bears were attacking people. Like they're
It's a weird. All that sovereign citizen stuff is weird. And like, they're like, yeah, they're just. It's interesting. It's interesting thought process where you go like, how do you get so far down a rabbit hole that you read this and you go, this is
Yep. This is
this
it.
is it. This is my way out of the system. I'm going to live in the community. I'm going to have my house in the community, but I'm not going to have to pay tax. I'm going to do whatever I want. And no one can do anything to me, because I am not a corporation. I am a person. Like, all right, well, let's see how that plays out for you.
Pretty much have to go in that if you want to do that. I mean, you could pack up, you could hike into the mountains, you could build a little log cabin, and you could live off
solar
the land.
panels are super cheap. You can do that now.
But yeah, I mean,
There are people like that though. There are people that do that. I like those. Those people I respect. They're just like, I want no part of civilization. I'm moving to the hills, in the deep woods. I'm building a trapper cabin. Like, that's cool. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, last time I checked, I think there's an estimated at least 5,000 or something, 5 to 10,000, something like that. People who live off the grid in the United States, like the whole of the United States.
That you know of though. That
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That you know, that's why there's like a 5,000-10,000. There's like a big margin for error.
Yeah.
So it's like those people just live off the grid, and it's or as off the grid as they can get. And if that's how they want to live, I mean that's fine. I'm not necessarily sure. I mean, it's like for me, it's like in the long run. Like, how do you be like, okay, so like your kids and stuff, like how many people live in the community? Like how many, like are they could just interact with the people that are your family, and then the immediate people who are in the community? Are you going to build a community, or are you just going to live off the grid?
Andrew A to Z asked, if the federal and state government has no power, what are they citizens of? I think they're just citizens of the land. I think that's what they say, but I'm not really sure. And I mean, if we wanted to really numb our brains, we could probably find one of these people to come on our show and tell us how the government's not real and this is non-existent. We don't have to listen to any rules. But I think much like the flat earthers, they don't respond well to any questions.
Yeah.
Or any view that's not.
I mean, well, they can do whatever they want.
Right.
They don't have any. They don't.
Yeah, they're like,
they're not required to answer questions.
I met a guy once, and what did he say? What did he say? He was, I can't really remember. His name was like Mario or something.
Sure.
And he was like, well, that's not my name. It's like, okay, well then what's your name? Well, it's not Mario. And I'm like, okay. It was like, he's like, I'm Master Mario.
Okay.
Mario is my corporate name. And I'm like, I don't recognize that. I'm like, okay, do you want this pizza or what?
I don't answer to that name. Sure, bud.
Yeah.
Right.
So you think I'm calling you Master? Look, get the hell out of here. Banned for life.
This pizza.
It's interesting, man, dude. There's interesting people.
How dare you infringe on my right to free pizza?
It'd be, on one hand, it would be fun to hear one of these people like try to explain their position. On the other hand, I don't know if I could put up with it.
You could sit there at it's like this it's a lot of circular reasoning and just kind of stuff, like just a lot of like just like a lot of assertions and no real evidence to back it up, and you're going to be like, okay, so and I'm sure there won't be a question and answer session afterward. No,
this is how it is, and see you later.
Yeah, bye. All right, could be that's just yeah, I don't know. There's a whole thing. Yeah, I know a lot of people kind of point out, like, as the sovereign citizen thing is like, they'll point out to like small little passages from like the Declaration of Independence or the Constitution, and they'll like point out some like real like small little blurb, and they'll be like, this is this means that anybody can do whatever, blah 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, but you're taking that out of context, like within where it's written. Like it's, a lot of stuff is just kind of just like misinterpretation or taken out of context, and it's just like, yeah, okay, just yeah. If we wanted to sit here and it would take us longer to go through it and being like, this might not mean what you think it means.
We got a serious question here. We got a serious question from Xavier. Xavier's asking, what do you think Bigfoot is?
Do I think Bigfoot is? Hairy hominid.
What do you think Bigfoot is? What is it?
Hairy hominid.
Interdimensional, phase-shifting entity.
Yeah, that's it.
He lives between parallel. He lives between dimensions.
I just think it's I think it's a forgotten great ape that lived. There's very few left. Lives in the Pacific Northwest.
Like Astropithecus or whatever they call it.
Yeah, and they're intelligent, and much like the sovereign citizen, it doesn't wants nothing to do with civilization.
Bigfoot is a sovereign citizen.
Yeah, Bigfoot's the only sovereign citizen in my opinion.
Yeah, the only true sovereign citizen is Bigfoot. Master Bigfoot. I'm sorry, Master Bigfoot. Can't recognize him by Bigfoot.
Yeah, he had a quick follow up just to clarify. He said flesh and blood. Supernatural, or is it something paranormal or something totally else? I think Bigfoot's flesh and blood. I think if you haven't picked up David Pleady's Missing 411, he there's something in the woods taking people.
Berry trees, bodies of water, and boulders.
Boulder
and
fields.
avoid all three.
Yep.
Avoid parks basically. But like there's a tale in one of them that I'll never forget where it's called like Hunter and Hunted. I'd have to go and look at the book. It's on the wall back there. But there's a person gives an account where they swear that like while they were in a tree bow hunting that they see like something like predator style, like active camouflage, which then made me think that maybe Bigfoot's real, but has maybe it's not from Earth and it has some sort of active camouflage or something. But interesting. I think it's flesh and blood. I mean, the case can be made for other things too, I think. Zell, what do you think?
Well, I just think that some people, I mean, when you get Bigfoot tracks, people say, I followed it for 400 meters and it seemed to just disappear. The trail went dead. So either it could jump really far, which is possible. Hulk style, jump like 20 meters off to the left or something, then you'd lose the trail. Or it's shifted.
Fucking nimbly bimbly, limb to limb in the trees.
From tree to tree.
Yeah.
The predator can do it. He can do it.
Yeah. Well, you think he's that big and strong, right? Like maybe he can jump.
You saw that. Well, you saw it like in Prey. Like that predator has to weigh like 400 pounds. It's just solid muscle and jumping from tree to tree. He can do it. Bigfoot can do it.
It's funny because you don't picture Bigfoot being that agile. But I think that's all propaganda, right? Bigfoot can move, baby.
He can fly.
Right? There's no way he's as you depict. Like I imagine he's flying in those woods.
No. For a bigger answer, I would say that you have a couple options of believing what Bigfoot is. You'll have a hard time proving either is more possible than the other, or more probable. I mean, you have flesh or blood, you have interdimensional, you have flesh or blood / alien, stuff like that. It could be a guy in a suit. It could be a hoax. It could be something cultural. It could be whatever. It's like people are seeing something out there. To me personally, like when you get down to it, I don't care what it is. I find the entire the entire culture of Bigfoot, of the cultural phenomenon that is Bigfoot Sasquatch fascinating. That either somebody is seeing something, if it is real, yeah, sure, great. If it's not, it's still interesting that people have gone on for so long that you get hundreds of reports every year. I mean, it's like just
So
last month,
many.
I think they said in South Carolina, there's at least like 2 sightings of Bigfoot. People said they saw Bigfoot. I find it absolutely fascinating, and I think it's just worth always looking into and keeping track of. So
There's
I think
endless
it's more fun than anything.
sightings and encounters. I mean, there's a great podcast that primarily does it. Sasquatch Chronicles. People call in and tell their
Stories every week.
every week.
Every week.
And some of them are so convincing. Like something threw a rock, it threw a log. It wasn't like, oh, I seen a bear standing up and then it was gone. It was like, no, something was like almost stalking me, and a rock got chucked and it just missed me, and I ran and I heard another, like, this crazy stories. Like, is a bear chucking rocks? Is that what's going on? Because I haven't seen that before.
And these people could be, some of them could be making up these stories. They could be completely making up these stories. I'd still find them, they're still stories, and they're still fascinating. They're still interesting to listen to. Whether or not you take them super seriously is up to you. Whether they can back them up or not, that's a whole nother deal. But I mean, they are fun to listen to, and it is fun to go out into the woods and be like, whoop it up and look for Rick Dyer, and then whoop it up. And
Captain Specificity, specificity.
Yeah.
Captain Specificity.
There you go.
What do you guys think about forbidden history? Like, humans have had our level of tech or better in the past, but there was a calamity or something that knocked us back. Now, I think that, in my opinion, there was probably a civilization that was more technologically advanced than we know and we give credit to. And I think evidence of that can be pointed to Gobekli Tepe just being around, and being backfilled and stuff, mile high, away from any water sources, the birthplace of agriculture. It just, all that kind of seems a little fishy that would be the first in the backfoot. So I do think that in some of these stories we get in various religions and stuff about a flood event, I think, like Zell, says maybe there was a flash ice age or something in the Younger Dryas. Sea levels rose, wiped out these ocean cities, and we kind of had a cataclysmic change on Earth that wiped out this technologically advanced civilization that we don't know about. Were they as advanced as we are now? Probably not in the same way, but maybe in the same knowledge base. Like, they had advanced mathematics, geometry, stuff like that. But I don't think necessarily they would have had computers, and they had 4 idiots live streaming once a week. But I do think there was civilizations that were more advanced than we know. So what do you think?
Well, if you just go with the history of humanity as we know it, they keep pushing it back. It was 200,000 years, they thought, and then 3, and I think they say 400 or more, with the same brain capacity, the same like attributes, the same dexterity, problem solving, all that stuff. And yes, I think because they would have lived through different ice ages, and then the last ice age is the one we know, where sea levels rose 500 feet. It wasn't like instantly, but over a period of time, 500 feet. And most of our cities today, like a majority of our population would be in that region of 5. If the sea levels rose today 500 feet, like most major cities are underwater. So if there was a civilization that had like advanced tools, like, I agree with Brayden. I don't think there was they weren't making plastics and microprocessors, I don't think. Because, I mean, we haven't found it yet, so it's hard to tell. But yeah, as far as like building wise, like megaliths and all that, yeah, I think, because they say right now it's like, oh, it's a linear scale. We get better and better and better. But even over like recorded history, you're like, okay, some of the pyramids of Egypt are great and they deteriorate, and then in other cultures the same. Like, technology like ebbs and flows as like the skills are lost.
Yeah, we used to think asbestos was great.
Yeah, let's put it on everything. Lead paint too. Why not? While we're at it. Yeah, so I think recorded history is a very small fraction of just humanity. Like, we don't know anything really written down with after like 8,000 years. We found cave paintings that are older, but as far as like real written history, we don't really have. There's nothing there. There's hundreds of thousands of years of time where we have no idea what, like, yeah, we're in small groups, hunting, gathering, foraging, moving camps with the herds. Like, you could say that's all we did for hundreds of thousands of years. Or maybe we did settle in big, like, cultures, big cities, but most of those places are gone because they're underwater. They've been eroded by time and you just can't find them. That's what I think.
Jenna, you got a thought on this one?
As far as it, I mean, you'd have to show me, especially there's so much stuff out there now that's fun to read about forbidden history, and people trying to make the point that, yeah, maybe we did have cities, our ancestors, or especially now you got the picture is more evolving now into not so much like a family tree as like a family bush. It's just like all these intermingling branches and stuff like this. It's not just spreading out from like 1 to 2, whatever. Like, you have the whole Denisovans and Neanderthals and intermixing in there, and then what was going on there. As far as, having an advanced society, it's like one of the hallmark, we don't really have any solid proof that any of those really existed. Like, you'll need pretty much anyone that we can conceive of at this point that would be like us you would need something like writing. You'd have to have some form of language, some form of communication that they were able to pass down their knowledge on how to build things, how to, even if it's stuff like an irrigation ditch or like some type of like, rudimentary pulley and lever system to help them build, monuments and things like this, or, pictures of how they did stuff, even like a hieroglyphic, like a pictogram language or something. We don't have any of that. And it's like really like to Zell's point about being like, yeah, in recorded history, we don't really have that much. And, for hundreds of thousands of years, we don't really know what we were doing. Like, we're just kind of wandering around following seasonal herds and fruiting trees and things like that. That's a lot of where a lot of settlements will find now, where, evidence of early human habitation was. And, human society doesn't really take off until we discovered writing. And then standardized language, and then being like, yeah, now fucking shit gets crazy. And then you're like, oh, every, from the Wright brothers to landing on the moon was like 60 years, whereas opposed to we could have been wandering around.
We could just write down when people died. Don't do this. They died. Okay. Don't do that like that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're passing on not like generational knowledge from, whatever. It's being able to record things and being like, Ungo Bungo ate, that berry and got real sick and died. Don't do that. Like, whatever. Like, don't do that. And you can write that down. You can hand it out to everybody. And then you learn a little bit quicker. You don't have anybody else dying from eating those berries anymore. Or it's like, but were certain societies like a little bit more advanced than than we perceived that they were. Yeah, we're learning that all the time, that there was, some civilizations, some cultures where it had advanced surgery techniques like trepanning, and they were doing kinds of brain surgery where, you would have back then that you didn't normally would think that they'd be capable of, and that, you'd probably die, but, they have, people have their skulls are like, they healed, like they were alive for maybe like 10, 5 or 10 more years. It's still pretty crazy. But as far as being like, there was a giant civilization with, a world spanning civilization. Like, I still haven't seen any evidence that really puts that in the front running of theories of things going on. So I don't know.
We have a question from Bodacious Biker. Hey guys, question. Do you think we as a society are ready for full disclosure? All caps. Yeah, of course.
Bring it.
I don't think anyone here, in 2020, they announced that all those UFO, the gimbal, Tic Tac, Go Fast videos were real. Unheard of. An unheard of release, and it was lost in the news in a week. So I think everyone's ready. I don't think it would,
zero people would care. It wouldn't change. If aliens have been around for this long and it hasn't changed our daily life whatsoever, like, I guarantee people are ready. Like,
I mean, it would change some religious practices, I think.
I don't even think that.
They would have to incorporate, what they're telling people. Yeah, some do, but I would think there are others that are have taken hard stances would have to be like,
I would say look at what happened when people figured out that the Earth was a globe and not or an ellipsoid.
well, have we figured
nothing
that
really
out yet?
changed.
Have we figured that out yet? I mean, there's a portion of people who are not convinced.
But I'm saying that the major religions of what people would consider the major religions of the world, most of them survived that. They were around during that transition. When we discovered electricity, we discovered physics. You think they would
just sidestep to like on the seventh day God created us and every other being in His image? Kind of thing.
From the there are academic journals written by like Catholic preachers and stuff like that, and they study these things. Like the Vatican has an observatory. Like they've made multiple contributions to astronomy and things like that. So it's like all they would have to say, and I think they've reasoned it out as much as being like God created the universe. There's nothing saying that He didn't create aliens too,
and everything in it.
Yeah. We got this was interesting. Kim C says last year a Harvard scientist suggested that our universe could have been created in a laboratory
talking about Avi Loeb.
By a higher
our old friend Avi Loeb.
I think I'm more in line with the like is that like petri dish universe?
He's talking about like it's basically the Twilight Zone episode where it's just like, and also Simpsons, but it's like that our entire galaxy or our universe is basically in a bottle and it's maybe some type of experiment. It could be like he says that it could be that.
Dude, we're just a drop onto a petri dish that's ever expanding, like spreading across the petri dish.
No, we are a universe created and to run a scientist's car. That's what we are.
Yeah.
Creates this universe. We create all this energy in this universe. He siphons off 70% to run as whatever he's running, and we just keep going on. And then we create another universe inside our universe to do the same thing, and it just keeps on going.
I think I'm more like if we're kind of going on like that, if we're some sort of created by a higher civilization. I still like to think that this is all some sort of simulation. In some sort of quantum computer running some sort of an advanced equation, and we're just all the cogs running that equation.
Trying to solve it.
So, what is the meaning of life? I don't know. Just you click enter on your quantum calculator and just boom, all this is happening to try to compute that.
I was thinking people are like asking that question. I'd be like, read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Just read that. Might find it entertaining. And also, it pertains to that specific theory. So I think people should read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's really funny, and it's also monumentally, can change a lot of views. It'll change your perspective on how you see some things and how absurd our universe is.
Each of you boys this is from Brandon Amata. If each of you boys could only choose one cryptid or conspiracy theory that you wholeheartedly believe in, what would it be?
I can only choose one to believe in, not one that's real. Like make it real.
Maybe let's go with what's the one cryptid or conspiracy theory that you wholeheartedly like? This is fact.
This is the fact, like cryptid, cryptid, like this is a fact.
That this exists.
Like this
if
is
it's
real.
A cryptid, this exists. It's a conspiracy. This is real. Not a conspiracy.
I'm trying to think of a cryptid that wouldn't cause
I got it.
Like, a lot of
I
problems.
got no. If I could go with one, I'd be like, aliens did come down and interfere in our evolution, and we are just a hybrid of ET and some other hominid being that was on this planet before.
Ooh,
if I was going to go
that.
with 100%, that's what I wanted. It would make more sense. Like, where did we come from? Why do we have this jump in evolution? Oh, aliens did. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, there we go. Boom, cool.
Conspiracy theory I wholeheartedly believe in. I'd say that I'll do a cryptid and I'll do a conspiracy. Conspiracy. They recovered a craft in Roswell, New Mexico. I 100% believe it. They made the press release. They didn't know what they had. They took it back after. I think that was a cover up. And I think a lot of our technology has come from reverse engineering these alien crafts. And for cryptid, I mean, I want to go. I always want to go Bigfoot, but trying to think of a good cryptid that I would. Mothman. I wholeheartedly believe Mothman. I don't know why he was there in Virginia, but I think he was
West Virginia.
West Virginia. Doesn't much. Dan, what do you think?
Conspiracy theory. The trying to think that I'm like, wait, it's so we wholeheartedly believe or we want to be true? Is it
No, you believe to be true. Oh, I guess, or wholeheartedly. Well, just you believe to be true.
that I believe to be true?
You're like, I believe this.
That there are some parts of the United States government that are trying to systematically disassemble public education in order to totally fund private schools that will indoctrinate kids into some kind of theocratic hyper-fascist state.
That's what you want to happen?
No, that's what I'm saying. I wholeheartedly believe. I thought that's what we were saying. We
Classic
wholeheartedly
Dan.
believe.
You wholeheartedly believe that's what's happening.
That's what's happening.
I believe that. I mean, you think of it like, the one that I've think has been like all these articles about. You just even see the propaganda of this weird kind of mentality of like, it's a lot of shit going on about quiet quitting, and that's where you don't quit your job. You just do only what is required of your position and nothing more.
Oh, that's what Braden's been doing his whole life.
Yeah, my whole life I've been quiet quitting.
You started that.
But like people like they'll be like, this is a big problem with the youth. I'm like, no. I don't think there's that. See, they've got it all switched. They've got it all flipped. The employers got it all flipped on you, where it's like, if you're hired for a job, you should only do that job. And if you're doing anything extra outside of that job, you should be compensated for X, whatever work you're doing. And it's so weird to be like, it's such a bad attitude to only want to do your exact job. Gave you for.
I was in the United States military, and there's nothing more American than that. Some people would say, and it's like, we do 100% more than you would normally do at a job, but we also get compensated in terms of benefits. So it's like, if you're not like outside of that, I'd be like, if you're not compensating me fairly for if you're not even paying me what like a federal minimum wage is, I'm like, why would I do any more than is completely necessary to keep everybody in my workplace safe? And like if I'm doing all of that stuff, like why would I do any more? Why would I come in on my day off to have some shitty meeting for like 3 hours? Like,
we always call it, I've always known it as work to rule. Like, what you're just doing the exact specifications of your job.
I saw somebody with the phrase "acting your wage." I thought that was pretty good.
That's good. Act your wage. That's great.
But yeah, I don't know.
That's an interesting. I can see that though. It's
the cryptid. I was gonna say Mothman, but I haven't been so many problems. If he actually existed, I was like, it'd be so many like airspace problems and like I don't know how he could be like.
Yeah, but if he's a dimensional creature that was just coming to try to warn, he's the harbinger of death,
doom, of bridge crashings.
Of bridge crashing. He only shows up at bridges. Yeah. Rumor is he was flying over the Coquihalla right before all those fucking bridges went down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I would say I would like I'd want to be like Ogopogos or like sea monsters, and I'd be like, but that'd be crazy because people be getting eaten by sea. And then it's like I don't want to go to the beach. I'd even more not want to go to the beach.
Well,
people
dude,
have been
again, I've
eaten.
said this. I think like a giant coolie loach, man. Like they're not gonna eat people, but like it's the serpent-like thing, right?
Hey,
what will they eat?
Okanagan Lake has claimed like 20 deaths this year, and not all of them have been recovered. So Ogopogo's
He's awakened. He's awakened from his slumber. I'm kind of curious. I bet Okanagan Lake's smashing Lake Lanier this year in deaths.
Yeah, I think we got 20.
I don't know. No, there was like a couple. There was like 1 or 2 deaths like this year already. I think Lake Lanier because I think it's like historically low. It's historically
low. I'm saying there's 1 or 2 in Lake Lanier. There's been fucking 20 in Okanagan Lake.
I see.
Like it's been crazy. I mean, I don't want to, we don't want to count our chickens till they hatch, right? But so we'll wait. We'll we'll do a total December 31st. We'll announce it on the New Year's
We
show.
don't want to
the winner
brag
of the deadliest lake.
Yeah, we don't want to brag that we have the
1, 2.
deadliest lake, but we got the deadliest lake.
Yeah, we should do a recap if Okanagan Lake beats Lake Lanier this year. We should go back and do a quick little note on the intro of the Lake Lanier episode where we're like, we recorded this before Lake Lanier lost the title of deadliest lake to Okanagan Lake.
Stay tuned for case.
I think as
275.
of July 4th this year, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 deaths at Lake Lanier.
Oh, we got more. I think.
Those are rookie numbers.
Those
You
good
got to pump
numbers?
those numbers up, baby.
Or at least that's what it says from the Times.
Ogopogo's
Dude, there's
taking
a-
people.
That one I read about where the guy they got off the boat and he's walking on the dock, just stepped and fell in, and people like turned around, didn't even see him, and he's gone.
Dead.
They couldn't find the body.
Well, they did find
Fell
it in
off
the end.
the. Well, they found the body later, but like when he fell in, they were like, "Where'd he go?" He's instantly gone.
He was sucked down by some
Yeah,
supernatural force.
Do you like hit his head on the dock or
Yeah.
something and
He
then
must
like go
have.
down? Or...
they have no idea.
Oh, yeah.
He must have. There's no other way you're gonna drown with everyone around you.
Yeah,
He wasn't even swimming.
but you didn't even hear a splash. Like that's like people didn't even like hear anything. Like you think you heard the thud and him hitting the water or something, right?
Yeah. It's weird.
It's very strange.
Yeah, there's been some weird ones.
It's in water, it's dangerous. I don't like to spend time on the water. If you take me to the beach, I will sit on the beach. I like to go to the beach. I just don't like to go in the water.
In the ocean or in the lake, or both.
Either. I really don't like lakes because you can never see the bottom. It's creepy.
Yeah, but there's nothing to eat you in the lake except for Ogopogo.
You don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
There. Yeah. Ogopogo.
Sturgeon. Yeah.
Gross ass sturgeon. I don't. Yeah.
The thing with Ogopogo is though, if you believe in him, like if you know he's there, he's not going to take you. But if you're like, he doesn't exist, he fucking knows, and he'll take you down.
Yeah, that's the first thing he questions you when he pulls you under. Are you a believer? You're like, I am
No.
now. Too late.
Too late.
You look at it. You look him straight in the eye. You say no. It goes okay. He takes out his flipper. He's like paddles
Yeah.
off. I'm watching you. I don't believe in you.
Yeah, man.
I told you. It's like
Any
I don't.
body of water.
Any body of water where I can't see the bottom freaks me out. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Except it's like I have been like when I was in the Navy, our ship made a couple stops on the equator, so we could like jump. They did a swim call. Let's call it swim call, and like you jumped off like in the middle. It stopped like anchored in like the middle of the ocean. You jumped off while you're on the equator just to be able to do it. That was still terrifying. Like you hundreds of feet down, can't see the bottom. That current was strong too because they had boats out there like going around like because people were just like you sitting there, you just jump in the water. You think there's you don't think anything of it. You think you're just going to stay in one spot, but you had to struggle to like get back to the boat because the current was like pulling you like back.
That's crazy. Yeah, ocean's a spooky spot, man. I would
Mhm.
not want to be lost at sea. When me and Zell was surfing, there was a little bit of a riptide, and I was like just starting to get tired on the surfboard. And I was like,
Is
"Fuck."
it? I'm gone. I'm dead. Take me, Lord Poseidon.
We were like waiting for the perfect wave, and as we were waiting, we just kept getting slowly pulled further and further out. I was like, God damn, I'm gonna have to swim here in a second.
Anyways,
Yeah.
we're,
Alright,
we're-
well-
we're over an hour. We're over the power hour, so that was fun. Except for the start. The start was mind-numbing pain.
Oh yeah, the half-hour stress of trying to get this set up, brutal. Yeah, we'll probably get a couple more Sunday AMA power hours in. Maybe we'll have some plan. This one was kind of planned last minute and had a ton of technical difficulties to get it up and running. But
What can you do? What can you do?
But we got it done because we're professionals.
We're professionals.
yes, if you're not following us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, should be. Head to alientheorist.com. That's where you can get the merch, all this stuff. You want to support us on Patreon, you want to help us continue to do what we do, patreon.com/alientheoristpodcast or supercast.com/alientheoristpodcast. Support the show.
Yep.
Ta-da.
Peace.